Cut my hours and lie to me? Enjoy a visit from the health inspector, by user Jet Those Cats. When I was 18 I started working in an ice cream parlor / lunch room. I worked there every high season, the summers / springs. My second season there I got promoted to shift supervisor, more responsibilities, same pay. Every time they needed someone to pick up a shift or start earlier, that person would be me. Cut to my third season. I was starting to take less shit from everyone and generally standing up for myself more. I got a complaint filed against me from a customer because I refused to serve her once we were closed one evening. Instead of talking to me about it, I knew the owner personally, and up until that time I considered her a nice person and she liked me. I started to notice I got less and less hours. When I asked the general manager about it she swore up and down that it had nothing to do with the complaint, and the business just had been slow. This all kept happening, until I got notice that they had overscheduled a shift, and that I didn't have to work that day. When I dropped by, imagine my surprise that there was someone working who wasn't scheduled because it was busy. I asked the owner to have a conversation with me, and these are some highlights. After this conversation I quit right there. Cue petty revenge. I happened to know that their AC was ridiculously dirty. I knew this because my now fiancé worked with X at the time, and had warned both me and the owner about it. Think mold, dust, etc. in there. They had not done anything about it, and when given the opportunity to get a new system at a very discounted price, they just laughed and said it was too expensive. Guess who anonymously tipped the health department? And guess who had to close for a week while their AC got replaced and got a pretty hefty fine? Edit, thanks for the awards. Plus spelling mistake fixed. Edit 2, since it apparently isn't obvious from my post, I warned them the second season I worked there, warned them multiple times before I quit. My fiancé also warned them multiple times and offered to fix it for them at a ridiculous low price. I only reported them after I quit. Car seat argument, by user Courtneyam1342. I don't know if this counts but it felt petty to me. I got into an argument with my husband this morning regarding car seat safety. Blew up into a big argument about properly strapping in etc. He blew up and said, "What are you? ACPST? Certified in car seat safety? You just know everything now? Where's your degree or certification to be spouting all this?" I immediately went and registered for a CPST certification course and paid the $95. Doing the online training right now and have to do a 3-day I-person course. This time next month I will have my certification and then I am gonna happily bring this argument up again. Just to prove a point. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat. Edit, the amount of people arguing that I am probably wrong and would double down, or that my marriage is trash because of this is hysterical. People on Reddit will find any reason to argue. My marriage is top-notch, and I guarantee my husband will have a good cackle when he finds out I did this. Also, I consulted the manual and I am right. The certification is so I can have the authority to say, "Hey, your car seat is wrong, let me help you." It is about kids' safety. If I was wrong I would admit it, and then be happy I took the class and corrected the mistake because again it's about kids' safety, not my need to be right. My husband and I both are constantly wrong about things together and have no issue admitting it. Thanks. I guess I'm a salty bitch, by user 2ND Snack. It was 2012. I got my very first apartment with 3 friends. Me and the girl shared a room while the 2 boys shared the other. The girl had us all do a house meeting when we all moved in. She discussed general rules which were common sense things. She explicitly says that if anyone has a problem with someone or something, just bring it up. Okay, NBD. However, she quickly became the only one in the house to have issues and yet she never brought it up. She would just be passive-aggressive and be loud in her semi-silent tantrum, like banging the door closed, stomping, slamming cabinets. The rest of us didn't know if she had issues with us or an outside issue, like her BF, that made her moody because she never adhered to her own rule of confronting an issue if it was house/roommate related. Me and her not only shared a bedroom but a bathroom as well. Over time I noticed that she didn't wash her hands after using the toilet. Considering I have to touch the same doorknobs as her to go in and out of the room or open the cupboard, I felt it an issue enough to bring up with her in private. You know, as per her rule? Her reaction? Attack every single person in the house for what offends her. Me? You leave your water cup on the counter. Still using it, boy 1 always plays his computer games loudly, he uses a headset and our apartment just echoes loudly. Boy 2 doesn't say hello to her when she comes back from class or greet her. What? She proceeds to call me a salty bitch, and for the rest of our time together she continues to be passive-aggressive and gets even worse, stealing money from people's wallets, throwing away something that wasn't trash and wasn't hers, hiding a possession to inconvenience someone else, etc. If I said anything to her about anything, she defaulted to calling me salty. So I decided to get my petty revenge. She made living with her uncomfortable the second she was ever in the apartment with anyone else. I decided to make her physically uncomfortable. I took some table salt and would sprinkle some in her bedding. Enough to make her toss and turn and wonder WTF was making her so itchy. Salt, because it doesn't attract ants, was small and white to blend in with her bedding, and because it was a safe enough spice to not stain her sheets or be obvious that it was a kitchen spice. She never got another good night's sleep for long. I'd give her a day or two of salt-free sleep to make her think the issue was gone. At least until she pissed me or the others off enough to warrant another uncomfortable night. She never found out what it was. No effort on my side. Just a tiny sprinkle of salt every few days all over her bedding. If I'm such a salty bitch, might as well live up to the name. Her restless sleep made her too tired to put the extra effort into her bitchiness and crimes. My roommate never gets her laundry, by userdaily_Joe. This one's pretty simple, but I have a roommate who always leaves her clothes in the dryer for long periods of time, sometimes even for days. At first I would simply take it out and put it in her basket and move on. Her basket would still stay there for days. Until that is, she got an idea that if she doesn't include her basket anymore, then it would force me to carry her clothes all the way upstairs to her room. And it worked, because I did this a few times because I really needed to use the dryer, but of course I was done with her shit. So now all I simply do now is take her clothes and put them on top of the dryer. Bonus cat hair, while I dry my clothes. After my clothes are done, I put her clothes right back in the dryer. I know you're probably wondering why I don't just leave it on top of the dryer. I do this so that way it doesn't make it easier for her in any way. I want her to struggle reaching down for that last sock. I want her to get annoyed when she's pulling out clothes and some of them accidentally fall onto the ground and get cat hair on them. Oh, and she's hate ee's bending over. I know this revenge isn't super crazy interesting, but I thought I'd share since doing this it has worked. She's finally started to catch up and even cheaply apologize. Edit. I wanted to keep the post short, but BC people keep asking. Yes, I do ask her to get her clothes out the dryer when she's home, and she does. The problems is she's not home most of the time, but what really got me to this petty point was the fact that she decided to not leave her basket so that way I would bring it to her via delivery on her bed. Lastly, so many PPL are saying that I should have thrown her clothes on the floor. This does not work in my favor since our laundry room is basically a small closet. This would backfire on me since it would be difficult to not only get in and out the laundry room but also close and open the door. So there you have it, folks. I made my homophobic in-laws look at a pride flag all day, by user vicious thisid. This is the smallest, pettiest revenge ever. It might not even classify as revenge. I'm at a popular theme park right now with my in-laws, and there's a relatively small amount of rainbow/pride items around, some t-shirts, pins, a couple signs in stores, etc. Nothing huge, and definitely no pictures of real people actually being gay, no women kissing, men holding hands, etc. My in-laws, though, are the kind of people who say they don't have a problem with people being gay, they just don't know why they have to be so in your face about it. And their definition of in your face is referencing it in any capacity. So there was a really beautiful rainbow flower arrangement at our hotel, and I pointed it out because of how pretty it was. My husband basically ushered me away as fast as possible to head off a rude comment from his mom. So today, I bought a pride pin and stuck it on my backpack. I usually walk in front, so she had to look at it all day. And then I bought the big bright pride tumbler for my soda. I don't even drink soda, and I'm not even gay. But $25 was worth it. Edit. Since I wasn't apparently clear, my in-laws are definitely homophobic. They absolutely do not like gay people. They get upset anytime they're reminded that gay people exist. They're mad that there's a handful of rainbow merchandise scattered throughout the park. They have boycotted films by their favorite studios if they find out that there's even a tiny gay moment. If they're in private, my mother-in-law will often make a rude comment if she sees something related to LGBTQ+. They're also those people who would say, well, I don't have a problem with gay people, I just don't know why they have to shove it in our faces every 5 seconds. Despite this, I do love my in-laws, and I'm not willing to go nuclear by telling them off out loud, so I'm just causing them minor aggravation by reminding them that gay people exist and that their daughter-in-law is a woke Democrat. It's also a reminder that I'm not homophobic, so maybe they'll hold their tongues next time they want to say something offensive. Edit 2. Oh, also, this company has said that all of the profits of their Pride collection is being donated to LGBTQ and organizations. So I think that's worth it, too. Edit 3. Hahaha, who sent my name to Reddit cares?